click that next button. Don't even think about clicking on a different podcast, because that is Effin Weird is here to bring you a wealth of knowledge today.
Welcome back, everyone, to the show. I'm Stevenson Longbottom here with
Lily. Nice to be here tonight.
Yes, it is. And we've seen, or I've heard a lot of people wanting to know more about what's going on with these New Jersey drones. So I've done a little bit of research, and hopefully it's informative to everybody. We have a lot of videos and a lot of stuff from Reddit, people from New Jersey. A lot of politicians have been saying some stuff, some local officials, police, everything like that. So tried to collect as much as I could for this episode, so we can talk about it for anyone who is curious about what might be going on in New Jersey or hasn't heard anything or just kind of wants an overview. Again, this is kind of ongoing, and it's at this point it seems like at least one thing happens every single night, as far as something in the sky or something, but we'll get into that in just a second. But as far as you, Lily, before we started the show, I had asked you if you'd heard about anything about the New Jersey drones, and have you or haven't you?
So I have heard a little bit about it. I saw the popular post hit r/all on Reddit and just a few reels here and there. I've definitely seen the pictures, and it looks very suspicious. It doesn't really look faked, in my opinion, but I didn't really dig much deeper than that. So I'm super interested in what we're gonna uncover tonight.
And see, I think that's something before we get into, I think the best way to go about this really is timelines. abc.go.com or abcnews.go.com has a great timeline of the series of events of the New Jersey drones and what people have been saying. So I'm going to be going off that heavily, but again, I will kind of divert from that and, talk about some Reddit posts and everything. But first and foremost, I think what we need to understand about the New Jersey drones is that there's two things happening at the same time here. People have been reporting drones, which we're talking about, but also people have been reporting orbs in the sky. So it could really be one or two things that people are seeing. The drones, obviously, if you know anything about like airplanes or you look up in the sky, you'll see typically they have a red, green light attached to them with maybe a white light to that. So a lot of the videos or pictures that you might see that people are like, oh, it's an alien craft. Typically, if it has a red or a green light, it might be, and I say might because some of the videos are really interesting because it looks like these orbs will switch colors to red and green and then start mimicking drones. It's really crazy. Typically, the man-made stuff will have red, green lights, but then these orbs that people are seeing, there's a couple of different versions, I guess, that I've seen that people have been posting. Some have been orange, some have been just white, all sorts of different shapes. There's a couple of really good pictures. As far as you, the listener, I highly suggest coming over to the Discord channel and taking a look at some of the pictures and videos that we'll be posting so you can get a better understanding. Or if you don't want to do that and you want to hit up Reddit, if you go into the UAP or like the alien subreddits, anything to do with the aliens in the skies, you'll probably find some New Jersey drone stuff in there. But nevertheless, that's kind of what people have been seeing, is one or two things like that. Now, Lily, were you aware of the difference between the two, or were you just kind of like, I guess there's just drones in the sky?
So I did see something about man-made planes or things like that it could be mistaken for. And I will say, seeing the pictures, because this has been going on, at least for a month now, right? Seeing the picture, it's hard to believe that all of the instances are just mistaken, man-made crafts, whether it be helicopter or airplanes or whatever. There's definitely some very suspicious patterns and colors going on. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and it really is, and you are right. It has been going on, and we'll get into the timeline in just a second. But one last thing is, this has been going on for well over a month now, and these crafts, again, these pictures and videos, people are saying like they're as big as a car or as small as like just a drone. So it's very interesting to take a look at all the collection of stuff that people have seen in the sky and everything. And it, to me, it's some of these pictures are some of the best that I've ever seen, and a lot of them too, like people are taking some high resolution
Yes.
pictures of not just the drones, but of these orbs too. So it's really cool to take a look at them. But nevertheless, we'll get into the timeline.
Well, right before we hopped in,
Oh yeah.
that's something that, it's been in the back of my mind. I often hear, and I've been saying that myself, like everybody has a camera in their pocket nowadays. And generally speaking, our phones are pretty powerful to capture whatever's going on around us. So it's been kind of nagging at me that, we don't have more high-res pictures of kind of paranormal happenings or just things that are kind of out of what we would expect. And this, like the drones, it's kind of crazy to see. Okay, yeah, we have pretty good quality picture and we can kind of make out what's going on. Well, of course, it's far away. It's up in the sky. Most of the time it's in the nighttime or the evening time. So it's you still have to let your imagination go wild a little bit. But it's very striking to see that, yes, we do have pictures that are pretty good resolution and quality.
Well, something that you said too, that is that they're pretty high in the sky. Well, actually, like some of these videos are, these drones and these things are so close to like people's houses, and people are saying that they're like right above the house or their houses, and it's pretty crazy. But again, too, with these high resolution cameras that we have on our phones, we're still working against like what you said, the nighttime. So like our eye, yes, is seeing something in the sky that, and it's so much, I guess, more clear to us. And then when you take out your phone and you take a video of it, sometimes it doesn't do it justice.
True. And the speed too. I mean, if it's flying around or do certain movements, maybe the phone can't pick it up as clearly as we would hope, but.
And then also too is you have the person who's taking it's like the classic Bigfoot photo or video where it's all shaky and everything. And yeah, like what you said, sometimes it's hard to like see like, oh, how fast is it really moving? Or it's just so much more difficult. Sometimes just taking a video just doesn't do it justice. So back in November 19th, the Morris County Prosecutor's Office in New Jersey says that drone activity was observed by law enforcement members on patrol. The MCPO says it issued a statement in response to the numerous videos on social media about prompted drone activity in the area. The prosecutor's office says that the drones are no known threat to the public safety.
That's kind of something to note, is that there is a response from some kind of authority. It's not just random people talking about it and reporting it. There's literally a prosecutor's office in New Jersey that was like, okay, we're acknowledging this to some extent.
Exactly. And that's just the thing, is over a month ago, November 19th, that's well over a month ago, these drones were starting to get spotted, and they're still, even today, they're still popping up and everything. But it's weird to kind of start the timeline here with the prosecutor is saying that there's no threat to the public. So even before November 19th, these possible drones or UFOs, whatever they might be, reported in the sky. I'm trying to find a video that goes probably to November 19th or past that.
While you look it up, I'm just kind of expanding on that. No known threat to public safety. It's kind of funny in a way to make a statement like that, because how do you know?
Yeah, right.
How do you know? Surely, I don't think that investigation to come to that statement has been very thorough. I mean, how would they know that there's no threat or what it's about? What's the purpose of those flight? It's kind of like, no, guys, just don't worry about it. It's probably okay.
Exactly. Like how do
fine.
you? Yeah, how do you know that everything is all good right now? Like, how do you? I don't understand how they can determine that it's no threat, which makes like I'll get into like what some of the politicians and what some people have been saying about it, but it really is interesting that right away, yes, they're saying that there's no threat. So to me, that almost seems like they might know who's behind the drone sightings. Maybe not the orbs, but the drones. They know who's sending those drones out. To me, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, that there's some knowledge here that's not shared.
Yes. All right. The first one that I actually started saving about a month ago on November 28th. I'll post the video. It shows that there are possible UFOs over Capitol Hill. So not necessarily New Jersey.
Right.
All right. I'm going to put it in weird things across the internet.
So for our listeners here, just giving a quick description of what's going on the screen. This is like a video. It's under a minute long, filmed on a phone, I would assume. And you can see kind of 4 or 5 lights that are somewhat stationary in the distance. And it's nighttime, but you can still see the light glow of the city life under. So it's very interesting how they're kind of in the same area. Here's another one that just popped up. There's circular little lights. Some are wider, some are a little bit more orange, red, and they're just kind of hovering there. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Continuing the timeline, on November 22nd, the Federal Aviation Administration issues a temporary flight restriction in Bedminster, New Jersey from November 22nd to December 6th for special security reasons, and says no unmanned aircraft systems are authorized in the region. So I'm not sure exactly where this next video is, but this was from 23 days ago.
Okay. So it's right around that time frame.
Yeah, let's see here. 23 days ago. For this video that I'm showing right now, it really is interesting because it looks like it could be a helicopter or a drone, but the amount of lights that are on it just doesn't seem like it would be the same as a normal aircraft that should be in the sky. There's a white light at the nose of the aircraft and in the middle. It does seem to have flashing red and green lights. Like I had said, it almost seems like possibly these orbs are mimicking drones. But yeah, this one is very weird to look at.
That's interesting. Yeah, because it truly is lit up like a disco ball. This thing is, and it's fairly close. Of course, it's hard to kind of gauge how big it is, but it's like so weird. And I was under the impression those red and light lights on plane kind of indicate which way is the left and right of the aircraft, but on this video here, this little craft that's flying around, the green light seems to be at the end of it,
like right on the center of the back of like the tail, as if it's a airplane or a helicopter. Yeah, it almost doesn't fit where the correct placement of it should be at. And that's why this one's kind of interesting. The amount of lights that are just on it, and just like how it's just so brightly lit up. It doesn't seem like it's a normal aircraft. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Agreed. Watching something like that, your brain trying to rationalize it and like, okay, kind of looks like it could be an helicopter, but it just doesn't really behave like you would expect a helicopter to do.
Correct.
And I don't know much about helicopters, but that's just so weird to parse what's going on.
Yeah, right? This is another video of a similar aircraft that was taken, again, 23 days ago. So around the same time, again, in New Jersey. But this aircraft, the way that it's the light pattern, now I could see this one being a drone or possibly an airplane, because the lights are distributed correctly.
Yes.
And just how it's lit up, it looks like a typical plane that you would see in the sky.
I agree. And just the way that it's panning across the sky here, it does look like this one could be a plane.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest challenge, like almost what you'd said at the beginning, where it's like, this is at night. A lot of these videos are being taken at night, where it's the only thing that you have to identify it are the different lights on it. It's not like you can see the correct shape, the outline, compared to the contrast of the sky, to like, is it a dark color, is it a light, you're just going off lights. So it's really hard to tell what you are looking at.
Agreed. This is just so weird.
Okay, and then the last video that I'll show that is almost like the one that I just posted. Now, this one I am more than 100% sure that is a plane in the sky. But it is so vastly different than that first video that I posted.
Agreed. Yeah, this one just has that kind of expected kind of the shape of a plane, or like a cross. Like you can see clearly there's a body, there's two wings. Okay, that's a plane. So yeah, in contrast, it's kind of crazy going back to the first one here. Yeah, that is not how planes do their thing.
No. I mean, again, it's possible that it might be a helicopter, but almost like what you were saying, where the red and green lights on it doesn't fit. I know helicopters have like a search or a spotlight on it, but yeah, that tail end where that green light is just doesn't look right. With that being said, I do want to show you a picture from 22 days ago. These are some pictures of supposedly drones in the skies. Now, this almost fits more of the description of that first video that we had seen. Lily, do you want to try to describe it?
So I'm trying not to be too skeptical. This one is just like picture. It's mostly dark. You can clearly see it's clearly nighttime. It seems to be looking at the bottom of a craft with a green light on the left, a red light on the right, and there's two kind of spotlight closer to the top of the picture. Now this one, it kind of looks like a helicopter to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, that one, and see that almost now fits. The red and the green lights are in the correct spot of where they should be. Now, hold on one second. I'm going to show you another picture, though, of a drone.
Ooh, all right. So that is completely different.
Right?
Huh. Now, this one is kind of a screen grab of, I'm assuming, a Wikipedia page, and it shows here a drone, which is huge. I wasn't expecting that thing to be as tall or taller than a man. That's big. And then it's kind of like in a star shape with a rounder base. That is very interesting. Huh.
What Lily is describing is it's called a VBAT. So V-BAT, quotations MQ-35 alpha. Someone took a picture or took a screenshot of a Wikipedia page of a drone. I'm not sure if it's U.S. national. Yeah, it's a United States drone. And this thing does not fit the typical profile of a drone. I would say, like, this thing, like what Lily was saying, it doesn't look like anything that I've ever seen. It has a circular bottom, star, or like a T-shaped body, but no fin. It doesn't look like it has lights on it. I'm sure it does,
right?
But it does not seem like something I've seen before. Maybe something like this was flying around in the sky. And the reason why I say it's possible is because on November 25th, the FFA issues a temporary flight restriction over Picatinny Arsenal military base in New Jersey from November 25th to December 26th. So that just ended 2 days ago. A flight restriction over a military base. So no one can fly in these areas because there's a flight restriction, and it's very possible that maybe they were testing a new type of drone at night. I don't know.
That is interesting, though. Like, it fits the timeline so well.
It does.
And like you said, it's kind of like a twofold. Either they're testing something and they would like the skies to be clear, which makes sense. Or is it this restriction put in place to see, okay, we've weeded out most people now. Who else would be in the sky clearly as some other purpose that need investigating? Very interesting.
I don't want to throw you for a loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of question everything that you thought. But here's another video that we were just talking about as far as like the lights just don't line up and it just doesn't seem correct. Now, this kind of proves that what people might be seeing as far as like these drones or aliens, it's very possible that it is just normal aircraft.
So this one seemingly was shot December 8th. Oh yeah, this one, it does look, interesting.
Now, you see where like the light pattern, like where that green light is on the tail of the helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the video that I just posted, this one looks almost identical to the very first video that I posted where those lights just didn't match up. The light, there was a center light, a nose light. There was a green light in the tail section, which maybe didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently there's this helicopter flying around in the sky that matches that exact same description, but it really is a helicopter. It's flying over someone's home, and as it gets closer to the house, you can clearly make out the rotor disc spinning, the shape of it. But again, it took that helicopter getting really close to the that house for that, to identify it.
And this video is a little longer. I appreciate that the person shooting the video has kind of a steady hand, and they're kind of panning to further away, and you can clearly see that whatever else is going on in the back is very similar, or you could assume that it's just more helicopters further away.
Yep.
Now, it makes me wonder why they were scanning that area so intensely. I mean, if all of those are helicopter, we're talking like 4 at least.
And that's just the thing, is that I think what people are kind of, scratching their head about and wondering about, and again, I think it gets into it later in the timeline, is why are all these flight restrictions coming up? And like, why aren't higher officials saying anything about it? Like, okay, yes, the prosecutor said, okay, there's no threat. If it is, U.S. man-made aircraft that are flying around, why not just come out and say that? You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, why? Yeah. I think the reason why people are getting kind of like bent out of shape and maybe throwing these theories out there are because it seems like people aren't being truthful about what is going on. So I can understand why, if you're not telling me what it is, this is what I'm going to hypothesize. So
for sure. Now it makes me think. I was kind of reading quickly over the comments in this post here. Some Redditors are asking, are they scanning for drone operators or what's going on in that area? It's kind of an interesting theory that the drones we thought were drones were actually helicopters. But now what if they were actually drones and those helicopters are looking for them? So that's kind of an interesting way to reason here.
Right? We're asking ourselves, like, okay, so why is there so much helicopter? Why is there so many, presence of aircrafts in the sky? And like, why are these flight restrictions and everything? Well, this might answer your question. So again, this is in all these videos are in New Jersey except for the first one that I had posted.
Okay, now. All right, now.
Yeah, okay. So that might be why there's these flight restrictions, and this is why there might be so many aircraft in the sky right now.
Wow. Okay, so we're looking at kind of a minute-long video here, also shot from a phone. It's kind of focusing on this bright spotlight, and it looks kind of quick. It's doing just very quick changes, of course, very like whooshing around almost. Very interesting. Completely different from the patterns the helicopters we just saw were making in the sky.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
This one looks like an orb. It's just a light. It's just a ball of light in the sky that's making very drastic maneuvers, changes in altitude and speed. I think that's what, like, this whole New Jersey drone thing. That's why I said at the very beginning, I think you need to understand that there's two things that are happening, and there's two different things that people are seeing. People are seeing drones, yes, but people are also seeing orbs. That's why I think people are getting confused, is because, again, at like the first thing that the prosecutor said is there's no threat. Well, okay, you're telling half the people that are seeing orbs, yeah, there's no threat, when, okay, well, obviously that's not man-made. But then the other half is like, okay, it's drones, but whose are they? And they're not getting answers. So I think it's a mess right now, I think it might be getting ironed out, but that's the thing about this. And that's why it's so complex. It's not just orbs that people are seeing. It's not just drones or these weird aircrafts. It's both at the same time.
So it's crazy. I give it another watch, and it almost looks like, and I don't want to be too far gone, right, in the conspiracies, but starting to think, how did this person find this orb? Did it just shine through their window and they rushed out to see what was going on? Or now I'm kind of wondering, how much of this is true? What is fabricated?
That's a good question. Like, okay, so how is the timing of that? And, why are you just looking up into the sky randomly? Well, this was 19 days ago. By this time, the drones sightings and the stuff that's been going on has been happening for at least a week or two. So I feel like a lot more people are going outside at night to try to find or try to see these things, because I remember waking up every morning and just seeing post after post after post of like a new video or a new picture of these drones that are in the sky or these orbs that are in the sky. So I think it's like that snowball effect where like it started off kind of slow, but as it gained traction, more people are going outside, and that's why we're seeing it. I mean, it could be fake. A lot of the world that we live in, the CGI and just, I'm sure you could tell AI like, hey, make a night video with an orb in the sky and it would populate something like this. That's very possible.
Or even someone that would be looking for traffic on their page, that would be kind of like trying to bank on this quote unquote trend and pulling out their own drone and just kind of making a show out of it.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. Getting more into the timeline. Okay, so on December 9th, so 5 days after the FFA extended the flight restriction, 21 mayors in different towns in New Jersey write a letter to Governor Phil Murphy demanding action. They call for a full investigation into the drones to determine the origin, purpose, and compliance with applicable regulations. They also demand the implementation of measures to prevent unauthorized or unsafe drone operations in Morris County going forward, and clear communication to local officials, law enforcement, and residents regarding the findings of this investigation.
It keeps unfolding like it's almost a show, It's like, well, okay, here's what's happening. About a month, 5 weeks ago, we have those weird sightings. Compare it to actual helicopters that were flying around. So some of them, okay, I'm not going to say debunked, but all right, some of them can be explained. But coming back with an official letter, right, from elected officials to a governor asking for real to get to the bottom of this whole story is like, there is truly something happening besides helicopters flying around and military base closing their airspace. So there is something at the bottom of this.
And that's the thing too, isn't it? It's not just like 4 or 5 mayors. It's 21. That's a big number. 21 different towns in New Jersey are asking their mayor to tell the governor, like, hey, there needs to be a full investigation or something. Just give us some sort of answers, just some sort of resolution, or just like anything really. Like, if it's government, just say it's government. If it's foreign, whether it be adversaries or not, just let us know. Like, people just want some peace of mind as to what this actually is, and I understand that.
I totally get that as well, because the fear of not knowing if, like you said, if it's foreign, if it's trying to gather information or whatever it could be, or even if it's just a bunch of kids that are playing around with drones and whatnot, just to get to the bottom of this and know what's going on. It's kind of interesting that it's reaching that level of, okay, that was fun for a few weeks, but now let's actually investigate.
Now that you say something like that, I have another video. This is of, I believe, the FBI.
All right.
Telling Congress, I think this was 18 days ago, Yeah, this is going on 18 days ago. That they don't know what it is. That's crazy. The FBI is telling Congress they don't know. So I'll let you watch the clip. I'll be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Huh.
Right? Yeah, isn't that crazy that Congress is asking, like, what is going on?
Right? And I really appreciate that he brought up frustration, because that's what it is. It's like, what is going on? We're not getting answers. And talking about budgets, of course, it's like, wow. So here's the thing that I have to ask, and I'm asking you, I'm asking our listeners. I'm not as well versed in governmental agencies and exactly what their purpose is or areas where they're relevant, but would the FBI have the answers when it comes to unidentified just aircrafts and things that are in their sky, and just kind of, would they have those answers? Would they have the authority to investigate and deliver those answers?
Well, so this is what I can theorize, is that on December 3rd, the Morris County prosecutor's officer advises public on how to report drone activities, yada yada. The FBI starts investigating the drone sightings and asks the public to report any information related to recent sightings of possible drones flying in several areas along some river. So that's when the FBI starts their investigation. And then we're talking about 18 days ago, Congress is asking the FBI what these drones are. I think it's fair for the FBI to say, I don't know. Because to try to like tell someone or tell like the public with 100% certainty, this is what they are, I think they don't have those answers yet. However, I think they do know if it's friendly or foe. You know what I mean? Like, if you can at least say, is it ours? If you can at least say that much. Again, I'm not sure if the FBI has like a dedicated counter UAS, or I don't know if New Jersey or Homeland Security has a designated counter UAS team that should have been deployed in this sort of instance. I don't know. And again, it doesn't say on the timelines, nor have I found anything about that. As much as the clip says is that, the FBI is allocated $500,000 for counter UAS or UAS task force or, whatever. To me, that's actually a lot of money. But again, I don't know how much actual drones cost or the ins and outs of it. So maybe it really isn't that much. But I think it's funny that before all of this happened, that money wasn't an issue. I feel like a lot that's what happens, is things aren't an issue until they're an issue. So like getting that much money or that, that low of, it didn't really matter until, oh shit, now we have to worry about it. Maybe you as the listener, maybe
Yes, I would like to see your theories. If you have insight or if you have knowledge or of how drones operate, I would love to read that in the comments. Please feel free, or even to just hop in the Discord, let's have a discussion. I don't know much about drones besides they're kind of cool, and you can probably find one for any budget depending on what quality you're looking for, right? I'm wondering, how come haven't they able to capture one yet? I mean, it seems to happen every night or every other night that there's a sighting or there's a tip that's submitted, there's something is going on. So I'm surprised that they haven't been able to either kind of pinpoint where they kind of cluster, maybe where they're coming from, a general area, or even just capture one and see what they're about.
That's something that I think a lot of people are like stressed out about as well too, is like, I have seen videos on Reddit where these like handheld devices that you point at a drone and it blocks the signal or it interrupts the signal of the drone, and it should make it fall out of the sky. So I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, why aren't you using something like that? Like, why, if this has been happening for over a month and you have helicopters following these drones, how have you not captured one or shot one down, or just anything? Why hasn't there been anything? The FBI was telling Congress, yeah, we don't know about these drones, but do they know something about the orbs? He just specifically asked about the drones, not these orbs too. So that's why this thing is so difficult, is that there's two different realms within this thing. It's so much.
Totally is. I agree. It's like literally being a part of like a like a paranormal investigating episode of your favorite show.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And you would think that we have some kind of technology, like you said, something that disrupts the connection, or I don't know, probably we can pick up with infrared technology or something. We have to be able to pick up the drones and get an idea of where they're coming from. But it's like, how, after 6 weeks, how don't we have more insight on what's going on?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that I'm pretty sure you're able to find where the controller is at, like where those two signals are like coming from. I think that's what a lot of people are scratching their heads at as well, is like, okay, so who's controlling, or what is controlling these things? And then that actually brings me to two dates: December 10th, when New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick releases a statement calling for a limited state of emergency. The state of New Jersey should issue a limited state of emergency banning all drones until the public receives an explanation regarding these sightings, he writes. The very next day, the Pentagon debunks claims that the mysterious drones flying over New Jersey were an Iranian mothership.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, so apparently, and I have a picture of what that means. So this is actually a website. If you can just look at the picture in the chat. You don't actually have to go to the website unless you want to. But right there is a picture of a port, one of the Iranians' ports, and from a top-down view, you can see a boat on the left, and then on the right, it's gone. And apparently that is a drone carrier. So again, I'm not sure if that means the boat itself is a drone or the boat carries drones. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I would hope that it's just, carrying drones. I would hope.
Yeah, right?
Imagine seeing that whole craft just taking off.
But yeah, apparently there was I'm trying to find it again. All right, so this is a video. Jeff Van Drew, I guess is the guy's name. He's saying that this Iranian drone theory is very plausible. But on December 11th, the Pentagon is coming out and saying, yeah, that's not accurate.
I love how he comes right out as they've been completely stupid about this. I watched about 3.5 minutes of the video here. I appreciate that he's kind of touching on the same points that we were talking about. For example, why haven't they just shot one down, and just kind of see where maybe if we can recognize what the technology is about. I appreciate that he mentioned that. I guess I'm open to the idea. I don't know as much about drones as I would like. I can't really believe that if they're coming from some kind of ship out at sea, I feel like there would be sightings of this ship. Surely it would be a big operation. I can't see just a little dingy boat, out at sea trying to carry this kind of operation. But I am not sure why we wouldn't have seen some kind of ship like that. Someone would have spotted just the swarm of drones coming in and out. So yeah, I appreciate that he kind of threw that theory out. It didn't take, but there's no harm in investigating.
before I answer or respond to that, there's one more video that I want you to that I want you to watch that kind of answers a little bit of your question about you think that someone would see like a mothership out in the water.
So yes, this gives kind of some weight and some credibility to the offshore base for the
Right.
drones. Wow, between 12 and 30, if that is honestly, yes, that is a swarm of drones. I just cannot believe that they didn't somehow either open fire or try to, bring some of those down, because it would be scary, honestly, just see and hear them coming. I mean, they're not quiet.
No, and I wish he would have said like the size of them, because again, like that one picture that I showed, were they as big as a person, or were they like just those tiny little store-bought ones? Like, what were the size of these things? But again, it almost brings credibility to what that one senator was saying, where it could be a mothership off the coast that these things are like taking off from, but have the capabilities of traveling hundreds of miles inland. Is that true? I don't know. But I mean, it seems like with all of these stories, and again, that picture of the Iranian drone boat near the coast is now gone. It's no longer at the Iranian port. Like, where is it? It seems like this is a plausible scenario where like this could be what's happening. But here's the interesting thing, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. You think that if it were a foreign adversary where these were, flying around, that we would have brought them down by now. But again, like we had said at the very beginning, on November 19th, the New Jersey prosecutor was like, yeah, don't worry about it. There's no threat. Well, how do you know? It's just, it makes you really scratch your head. Like, it's like, okay, well, that's the most plausible scenario. But over a month ago, you're saying, don't worry about it. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's concerning, because what's like not knowing gives room to that fear, that frustration, and to just question what's next. Are they just gathering information? Are they mapping out certain areas? Is it just to scare the population? Is it, is there another step that's going to come after flying about for weeks on end? Surely they have a purpose besides testing what they can do and how far they can do.
Yeah. Right now, okay, I'm about to show you a video that's going to just make you question everything that we just said.
Again?
Yeah, it's again.
Let's see. The world is going on.
I know. Okay, so the video that I just shared was of an Iranian air defense attempt to shoot down a drone or a UAP, and it fails. And that was 17 days ago.
Wow.
What's happening here in New Jersey is happening in Iran too. It's happening all over the world. And now this is an orb. It doesn't look like a drone.
And it's very static.
Yes.
I don't believe it moved.
No.
It was just incredible to see the shots that were fired at it from like the bottom left of the screen here. Either they wouldn't hit, or they kind of hit around the orb, or simply they didn't connect with it. It's very weird, and it's hard to understand, to kind of parse what's going on and where those shots are reaching.
Exactly.
How big is this thing?
I have no idea. It's really hard to tell how big it could be. But yeah, it's so weird to think that we were just on a path to be like, okay, yeah, it's very possible that it might be Iran who's, has a mothership out in the sea sending these swarms. And then in Iran, they're dealing with their own UAP scenario and everything going on. It's wild. So it seems like what's happening in one place is just happening all over. But with the next video, this is a really high resolution video of a orb that was shot in, not shot down, but like shot in New Jersey.
It's so round. I will say that my spider senses are tingling And out of the bunch, this might be the one where I think, has this been manipulated somehow?
I don't
Because
know.
it's just so, I don't know how to describe this. There's definitely like a bright circular spherical orb here. And on each side, there seems to be two or three lights flashing. And there might be a red one or an orange one. I can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's zoomed in, this thing looks bonkers. I don't even know where to start.
That's what's so tough about this, is because right there, this video, it looks like that could be a drone, just flying around in the sky. But as soon as you zoom in on it, it looks organic. It looks like it's a floating orb with just this, I don't know, weird material in it. I don't know. It's so hard to describe.
Right? I think like it's almost like if you're staring straight, like dead straight, as like at a very bright flashlight or something that's just intense and concentrated, and you're staring right at it. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, could it be an aircraft that we're looking at through a weird angle that could produce this kind of shape and light? But it's just very hard to understand what in the world is going on.
I guess maybe the best way to describe it is like, now that you say that, it's very possible that, maybe there was water on the lens, or they were, because that's almost kind of what it seems like, is like when you have like water on your glasses, or like your light is shining through, it gives this weird like halo or distorted type look. It almost kind of looks like that, but then the rest of the video looks very clean, or like, clear.
So weird. Yeah. Now you know what you're saying, that it makes me wonder. I don't know if you have astigmatism, but driving at night.
Yes, that's
in the
perfect.
dewy nights in Indiana. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yes, that's that's a great analogy. Yes, that is perfect. Let's see here. On December 15th, Homeland Security tells ABC this week that the federal government is actively addressing the drones in New Jersey. They go on to say, I want to assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings. They go on to say some of the drone sightings are in fact drones, and some are man-made aircraft that are commonly mistaken for drones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a weird statement, right?
Right?
It's a very weird thing to say. I don't know. It's almost like he's admitting that there are orbs in the sky as well. I don't know. It's just a weird statement.
Agreed. Huh. I'm not sure how to take that.
I think it's they are fine. I mean, by December 16th, they're finally acknowledging that yes, there are drones in the sky and they're man-made. But I think there's also that element where it's like we don't know yet as far as who or what they are. But this might answer that question. Let me get to it. All right. Now, this next video that I'm going to show you, Lily, are going to have to tell me if you believe this guy or not.
All right. Very ominous title, simply called It's Happening. Let's see what he has to say. Huh. All right. Now that's something.
Yeah, what do you think?
We seem to be having a whistleblower here warning us about a few things. Okay. First thing that I just caught is when he said above and below. Okay, that's my Agartha / Hollow Earth call. So yes, I answered that call. I don't know what to make of this warning. It's very ominous. He doesn't look in the best shape. He needs to get that eye checked out.
Yeah, he was rubbing that eye a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah. He needs to leave that thing alone. Go to the doctor. But okay, so his message is pretty much there's more to the story than what you're even thinking or what's been told to you, and we're gonna have to evacuate. We're only 4 years after, oh my God, the pandemic. I am not ready for another major crisis, so I'm gonna choose to ignore that part of the story. But I don't know. Now, I don't think that's a testimony, I guess, that I'm gonna believe. I don't know.
Because he doesn't give as far as like any credibility to what he is saying. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's not saying like, hey, I work at so and so. Yeah, like he is coming out and he is saying something, but he doesn't say if he has like a security clearance, or he doesn't say what he does. He doesn't say anything really. He's just a military member, just kind of saying, yep, it's us. We're the ones doing it. I haven't seen any other videos like that. I don't know. It's strange. I want to believe him. I would like to, you know, when you think about the military, you know, you think that there's a certain level of trust, I feel like, where it's like, okay, yeah, I can trust what they're saying. But again, I need a little bit more, I guess.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah. There's definitely that appeal to authority, right? He's wearing a uniform. He's using we a lot, as in either generally mankind, the United States, or even just the military. So you have reason to believe that he could be legit, but I just don't know that the lack of urgency in his voice. No. I feel like if this was legit, I would expect a lot more either clear thinking or, again, maybe the use of antibiotics for his eye, something. I am not sure that I'm buying his account of what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It really is. Again, I want to believe him, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to. But it really is interesting what he is saying as far as like, yep, it's us, because it's almost like we had said at the very beginning, where it's like, okay, there's two different things that are going on. There's drones and then there's orbs.
That's true.
And you know, I had thought about that before even coming across his video, and he just kind of solidified it. So it's like, all right, well, that is true, but how many other people are coming to that conclusion too? So it's, you know, I don't know. It's I just thought it was an interesting video where, you know, a military member is saying that, yeah, it is us.
For sure.
Let's see here. The last thing that ABC has as far as a timeline goes is President-elect Donald Trump says that they know where it is coming from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense, Trump says. Yeah, so what do you think about what he had said? Do you think there's any truth to that the military knows, or, you know, the government might know, but they're not saying?
I think it's a safe bet to say that we're not privy to everything that's going on. I think that's safe to say. And honestly, I don't know that I want to know everything that's going on. I have enough going on myself. But I think there's like a cautionary tale of not falling too far, too deep into that. You know, they're keeping everything from you. They're not telling you everything that's what's going on. Maybe it's nefarious, you know, hiding information. I think that while it's pretty reasonable to expect that there's more going on that either touches maybe national security, or simply that it's too technical, we wouldn't understand, or maybe it hasn't been verified just yet. Maybe it's still just theories and investigating. There's more going on. But yeah, I would err on this side of caution for sure.
You know, I think there's always that, like, let me gather all the facts and let me have everything, like all my ducks in a row before I come out and say what things are. Because again, you know, like, a lot of people have questions about these things. And if you're like, look, let's just say, for instance, you know, they're like, okay, yep, we know who they are. Let's say it's Spain. I'm just throwing a country out there. I don't know. And then the next question is, okay, well, what are they doing here? Oh, I don't know that yet. Give me a second. And then it's like, okay, oh, they were just flying around for whatever reason. Well, why? Oh, I don't have the answer for that. Let me get it. So it's one of those things where I can see it's like, okay, let me gather all the facts and let me get everything that you're going to ask before I come out and say exactly what it is. Like, you know, the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Like, let me answer all of that before I come out and say exactly what exactly is going on. But again, I can see it from both sides, where it's like it is frustrating to have these things going on in your neighborhood, and you just want to know what's going on. I can see it from both sides.
Agreed. And we're right in the middle of the holidays. I'm sure we've all to some extent spent time with relatives, and this frustration and not knowing what's going on, drumming up that fear and that quote suspense. I think it's feeding into sort of like the mysticism that some people have. I've heard during the Christmas break, one of my family members that were like afraid of 5G and what it can do to your mind, to your body. And I'm fearing that saying things like they're keeping things from us and things like that, I feel like it's gonna just increase that fear against whatever technology, whatever drone. And like you said, if the investigating authority just comes out and is like, yeah, they're probably from Spain or they're probably from this location, there's gonna be repercussion to that population, and to just be like, okay, maybe you're quote unquote one of them, or are you part of this happenings? So it's like, I feel like you said, we're almost safer holding tight and just waiting for those what, where, when, who to be answered, and to just kind of get to the bottom of this, but with verifiable information, not just hypothesis.
Exactly. And yeah, I think that's possibly what is going on, is they want all the facts before they actually come out with an official statement. I think they're trying to give as much information, but yeah, again, it's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I think we still don't know. As far as the timeline goes, that was the last of what ABC had. As far as other things that I have, it's just kind of daily. There's more videos popping up.
And it's still developing. That's what's crazy about it.
And that's the thing.
It's still happening.
It is. It really is. And we're still, I think we're no closer with what it is or who they are. But I will say that there has been an increase in orbs all across the United States, at least. I won't post all the videos. It's pretty much the exact same thing. There's probably anywhere from 5 to 10 orbs in the sky, but some of these locations include Michigan, Arizona, Texas, Massachusetts, Dallas, Texas. Where's this one? Louisiana. So they're Indiana. That's another one.
Oh my God. Maybe I need to be investigating around here.
Yeah, right. Kokomo, Indiana.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Yeah. December 27th. Yeah, they saw orange lights in the sky.
Oh, good grief. Maybe I need to make a trip there.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, again, that's those orbs are happening all over the sky, all over the United States at the moment. Again, it's continuously being updated. So for you as the listener, I hope this shedded some light on what's going on. Again, if we need to make a part 2 to this and dig a little bit deeper, I would love it. Yeah, and when they actually come out with maybe what it is and where it came from and like the whole story behind it, certainly we can do a part 2. But we wanted to at least get some knowledge out there about what's possibly going on right now. So yeah.
And you know what, listeners, if you see something weird happening in the skies, pull out your phone, bring your camera up. Let's document this. Let's see what's going on. Let's get to the bottom of this. And who knows, it's probably a little brat in your neighborhood that just got a drone for Christmas and is just flying around, zooming around. But I was just reading on Reddit that over 5,000 tips have been submitted in just the last few weeks to the FBI about those drones. So let's see if we can get more info. Only credible, of course. But yeah, I would love to see your own footage. Feel free to bring it over with you on the Discord server and let's investigate.
Or, honestly, too, if we have our own Reddit subreddit, too, it's called That's Effin' Weird. If you want to post stuff in there, anything that you guys might see as far as, orbs, drones, anything like that, and you want us to take a look at it, feel free to drop something in there. yeah, check out our social medias. We got plenty of what's going on. And yeah, Lily, do you want to say anything before we sign off?
The only thing I'd say is stay safe. If you go out at sea, just be wary of any swarm of drones that could be following you. And just be careful about the 5G, of course.
Nice. And remember, we don't want stuff that's normal. We want stuff that's effing weird.